What's up, guys? Welcome back to RGR. My name is Renegade, and today I will be reviewing and rating. Alright, the game today is Hades, and it is a roguelike. And for anyone out there that doesn't know anything about roguelikes, I mean, this is really the first one I've played. I've always known about them, but Hades is a roguelike, and in roguelikes, you basically, you'll have a run. You'll go out and you'll collect powers, I guess, depending on that game's game mechanics. You'll go out, collect powers, try to make it as far as you can in the run to accomplish your goal of the story, and collect resources, and you die. And you go back to your home base and you spend those resources to get more powerful, get more weapons, everything, and go back out and keep rinse and repeat until you finish. And with a game like Hades, there was 4 stages, I believe, and then the boss fight. And so if you make it stage 3, 4, die, go back. You got to do all the stages again, die, go back until you can finally beat the game with all the powers you can. And then these games are made for, speed running, you finish it multiple times. I only finished it once. So I guess in that way, these games don't really hit me that way because I like to beat a game and then move on to the next one. So I don't play it. I'm not a speed runner. So I don't go back and try to beat my time over and over again. But it's still a really fun game for my first roguelike. I'm playing Hades 2 already. But this game, it definitely gave me a run for my money because I got stuck at the final boss so many times, so I'd have to go through. I think it took me 25 escape attempts to finally beat it. So I had to go back through the first 3, 4 stages over and over again. And yeah, it was testing me for sure. But I made it through. It was a very fun game. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I've already moved on to Hades 2. So if that says anything, I wanted to see what the Game of the Year nominee was like. So I decided to play Hades 1 and 2, and it was an enjoyable experience. And this was, like I said, my first ever roguelike that I've played. Now let's get into these ratings. So first, we have gameplay. So like I said, with these roguelikes, gameplay, it's got to be good enough to keep you, keep you coming back because you're going to be going through and running the same stages over and over again. Now, granted, the stages do change, every time. It's not like the same path over and over again. It's just the same area. So the first one's Tartarus, and then you go to Asphodel, and then Elysium, and then the river Styx, and then you're out. And yeah, so it's the same area, but the map kind of changes and the enemy spawns change. And then you have the same bosses and variations of bosses. But gameplay's tight. There's 6 weapons, I believe, that you can get. And all of them, except for maybe one, I enjoyed playing with. So that was nice. Gameplay is solid. The boss fights are solid. They're fun. There's plenty of mechanics to have to learn from the bosses. I guess I could equate this to kind of like a Souls like as far as difficulty because you got to learn the boss mechanics so you don't just get punished. It's very fun. So gameplay I gave a 7 out of 10. Not really any multiplayer or co-op, other than maybe comparing times, speed run times, but didn't give a score for multiplayer co-op. Story. Story is very middle of the road. You're Hades' son, Zagreus, and you're trying to escape the underworld to go see your mom, Persephone. So I mean that's all there's to the story, and you got side characters to talk to. But the story, there's no stakes. You die and you resurrect and come back. There's not really any stakes if you fail. It's just rinse and repeat. So story was very. I mean, it's not a bad story. It's a good premise for a story. It's just not. There's no stakes. There's no depth. You're trying to escape. Go see your mom. And so I gave the story a 5 out of 10. Replayability, that is where these games shine, in my opinion, because these games are made to beat multiple times over and over again, and you can unlock different doors and side activities and get better boons, which are the power ups that the gods give you. And so these games are made for replayability. I thought the replayability was solid, even though I didn't stick around that long after beating the main campaign. I could definitely see, you know, everything the game was offering after beating it just once. Replayability, I gave an 8.5 out of 10. Monetary value, so right now, on average, this game's on sale for around $7. And I sunk it took me 24 hours just to clear my first run through. So $7 for 24 hours, it comes out to about 29 cents an hour, which amazing deal. I mean, this game was very enjoyable. I would definitely recommend getting it and playing it for 29 cents per hour. It's and then even more after that if you're a speed runner, oh, the value's there, easy. So I gave monetary value a 9 out of 10. And fun, just overall fun, how much fun I had playing the game. Like I said, it was a great experience. I'm playing the second one, and I'll have that review up probably next week. Um, it's a good time. It definitely tested me. It tested my patience after having to go through freaking Tartarus for the 20th time. It definitely tested me, but it was very fun and very worth it once you finally beat it. So I gave fun a 7.5 out of 10, and all those averaged out to a total rating of 7.4 out of 10. Very good, very solid rating. I'm excited to finish up Hades 2 to see how these two games compare. But thank you for sticking with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.